So is ballistics worth it to invest in? Definitely. This is one of the best perks in the game if you plan on using bullet-based weapons or weapons that fire ballistic ammo. This also seems to include hornet nest ammo on shotguns. So ballistics is actually better than most other perks if you just plan on running multiple weapon types that aren't lasers or, things that aren't ballistic. So essentially you just get a damage increase that's the same as individual perks. So if you plan on getting like shotguns 1, 2, and 3, ballistics 1, 2, and 3 does the exact same thing, but with the added benefit of also scaling the damage of other weapons. So if you want to run like a shotgun and pistol build, you can do that if you invest into ballistics first. Now you'd also want to do something like get weapon engineering if you want to run like weapon agnostic builds, or in other words, builds that don't lean in to specific weapon type perks, or at least not right away. But ballistics is just really good to have for the damage increase, and it also increases the range at which you can deal high damage. So let me talk about weapon range, because rank 4, you might be wondering, is rank 4 worth it? It is, and let's go over why. So each weapon has an attack range, right? Like an effective range. And this range is the range at which the weapon can deal effective damage. So this is a range of 17 on this shotgun. This has a range of 17 on this pistol. This has a range of 29 on this rifle. So obviously shotguns are more close range. So getting 30% increase in range on shotguns, especially on a shotgun build, is massive value. Same thing for some of these pistols that have low range or closer ranges. And it also helps, actually this isn't a ballistic, so shouldn't affect it. So keep in mind it does not scale the range of non-ballistic weapons, just ballistic weapons. Let's see if lasers does that. No. All right, so interestingly, laser weapons, I think their range is already really high though, so increasing the range doesn't really matter. They have a small percent chance to set things on fire. But ballistic weapons get the range increase. The range increase means you deal more damage further out. So if you go for like headshots and you want to deal like more consistent damage at further ranges, that's essentially what it does. But generally speaking, this is one of the best things to use if you plan on using like shotguns, submachine guns, even certain heavy weapons. Use ballistic ammo. Generally, anything that uses ballistic ammo should be dealing ballistic damage. Now, there are weapons that deal both laser and ballistic damage. So what you would need, or I'm sorry, energy damage. What you would have is the physical side of it will get scaled by this, but the laser side would not. So any weapon that does, let me just show you the icon. This icon is ballistic. So that's the key thing, right? So all of these, I don't know if the knife is though. That's kind of interesting. It shouldn't be, but any firearm, I should say that, any firearm with this icon should be considered ballistic, as far as I know. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain, and based on testing. So for example, obviously that's energy. It even says too, right? Like physical energy. So like this smart gun, this gets scaled by ballistic. It also gets its range increased by it as well. So this has 40 range, so 30% more. I don't know the math off the top of my head, but probably like 30 something range roughly. Maybe high like 28 or something like that. But it's really good for increasing your poke damage, and it's definitely, I would say, essential on shotgun builds. Now on rifle builds, the range increase isn't as high impact, and with certain pistols that already have like long range, it's not as high impact. But this is definitely really good on shotgun builds. So if you're running a weapon that already has far range, you probably don't need rank 4, but you should at least get rank 3. Most of these perks, getting rank 3 for the damage increase can't go wrong, and then getting the, additional effect. So like in the case of shotgun cert, the stun is debatably worth it, but obviously the damage increase, if you're running shotguns, you want it. Same thing with ballistics. But yeah, that's it for this one. Just a quick little breakdown of range, what ballistics does, why it's generally better to invest in this over something like shotgun or pistol cert. Now pistol's interesting though, because the damage scaling is different, and the crit chance modifier for rank 4 is different. Like you get a crit chance, like a pretty substantial increase in crit rate after you get a kill, and crit stun. So the pistol, investing in pistol early could be better than ballistics, but for shotguns, for whatever reason, their damage scaling is worse. And I believe rifles, yeah, heavy weapons is the same. Rifles is the same, and then this reload is honestly just give us 30% faster reload while standing still is just kind of stupid. Like, you can take cover and make use of this, I guess, but I feel like that's so niche. Like, I'm always moving around. So pretty much everything but even melee. Actually, no, melee does 50% more damage and then 25. So pistol, you should get over ballistics if you're running pistols, but ballistics is better than shotgun early on if you're running multiple weapons, potentially better than heavy weapons. This is kind of interesting. It's kind of weird though. But yeah, that's it for this one. Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed this or found this useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.